I'd like to address sensory motor techniques. A lot of times in these kind of situations, you hear things like, just let it go, just relax, get over it. And all of those are wonderful thoughts, but they don't help us very much. They're top down. They're saying you should think differently so you can feel differently. And there's some merit to that. And we can certainly reframe things. But an alternative technique is sensory motor technique, which we work from bottom up. So we're actually incorporating awareness of the body, targeting a physiological as well as it relates to the autonomic nervous system, right? So that's where we have our fight or flight or our parasympathetic, our rest and digest. This unified approach to effectively addressing the physical and psychological effects of stress is quite effective. So as we know, stress activates the sympathetic nervous system. These sensory motor techniques combat this by recruiting the parasympathetic nervous system. So my next few slides will be about us go ahead and learning how to use some of these bottom-up techniques. Okay, so they're simple techniques, but they have a large impact. The following strategies you can use in the moment that you're starting to detect your sympathetic nervous system starting to activate. You might have increased rapid heartbeat, tightness in the chest, shakiness, or vision changes. The key here is to remember to intervene early and effectively, right? If we wait till that gets out of hand, it's going to be really difficult to rein it back in. So as we're noticing our sympathetic nervous system activating and our physiological responses getting more strong, there's a number of strategies we can engage in. One of them is called the 5-4-3-2-1 method. And it goes like this. We want to just stop in our tracks and we want to notice 5 things we can see right now. That can be the plant, the wall picture on the wall. It could be the door. It could be a window. It could be the floor underneath you or the rug. And then we want to stop and we want to find 4 things we can feel with our body. This might be the glasses I can feel on the bridge of my nose, the hair touching my shoulders or my face, the clothing touching my torso, the seat cushion under beneath me, all of those things that our body can sense. Then we want to find 3 things we can hear. That might be the sound of our own heartbeat, the sound of the air coming through the ventilation system, or maybe words or steps coming outside of the room that we're in. Then we want to find 2 things we can smell. This might be that lovely coffee coming from near ourselves. This might be other food, or maybe it's antiseptic or cleaning products, fabric softener, anything we can smell in this space. And the last one is 1 thing we can taste. This might be the dryness in your mouth or metallic taste or the last thing you ate or drank. What this is really doing is grounding us in this space right now. An alternative is 4-7-8 breathing. Again, we're going from the body, giving messages up to the brain that we're okay. 4-7-8 breathing is a diaphragmatic breath technique involving 4 counts in on the inhalation. Inhalation is connected to the activation of the sympathetic nervous system. And then kind of hold for 7 counts, and then breathing out for 8 counts nice and slowly. The breath out is recruiting that parasympathetic activation, that rest and digest piece. So breathing in 4, holding 7, and breathing out very slowly, letting all that old stale air out in 8 counts. Another strategy we call using peripheral vision. So this way, we're going to go ahead and look straight in front of us and using a focal point. And that focal point is using more of your sympathetic nervous system, that activating part. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep that in mind, but we're going to go ahead and pay attention to the peripheral vision and pretty much all of the area instead of just that focal point. When we use our peripheral vision, we're recruiting that parasympathetic nervous system, rest, digest, and calm down. Another strategy is softening the eyes. So if you can take just a moment to squeeze your eyes tightly shut for just a few seconds, hold them nice and tight, and then as slowly as you can manage, release your eyes open a little at a time, letting a little light in and then a little bit more until your eyes are fully open. Alternatively, you can rub your hands together nice and fast, creating some heat between them. and then cupping the eyes to add that relaxation technique, and then slowly releasing that to allow some vision to come back in as a relaxation technique. Again, working from the body and giving messages to the brain that we're okay. There's also the Valsalva maneuver. In this maneuver, we're going to bear down, or like when you're trying to pop your eardrums and you're holding your nose and you're just creating a little bit of pressure in our chest and holding that for about 5 seconds and kind of bearing down and then releasing, right? We're trying to get some pressure and then release. This is one of my favorite ones. And if you have a dog, you'll notice that they do this very instinctively. When they are nervous, they will make a yawn, and that will help bring their parasympathetic nervous system into activation and calm them down. And we can do this even if we don't have a yawn ready. You can make a fake yawn or make an R sound and just make a yawn to allow that parasympathetic nervous system to calm you down as well. And the last technique would be to lengthen the spine. So if you're sitting in your chair, your shoulders are probably rolled and you're probably hunched over a little bit. And what I want you to do is think about the base of your spine, the sits bones that are touching in your chair, or if you're standing up, thinking about your heels touching the floor, and then rolling up your spine one vertebrae at a time and rolling upward until you totally release all the way as long as your body can extend, and then releasing that out. Again, we're going from our sympathetic nervous system to a more sympathetic activation, sympathetic to parasympathetic. And those are some techniques you can do in just a matter of moments to help bring yourself back into balance.